Hello everyone. As per usual, every time I do a problem in C#, then I just redo it again in JavaScript. This problem was given by Google and Microsoft in a software engineering interview. So let's start and solve it using JS. Now, it's very simple of an idea. You have flower, flow, and flight, and you need to return the common characters between these strings. The first common characters, right? Because if I say common characters, oh here and oh here might be it. But we're talking about prefixes here. So if I go ahead and place dog, doggo, and dodgy, now I'm going to be returning dog, because dog is amongst them all. Alright, so that's pretty much the idea. Now, I'm getting these strings here, and I need to return the common prefixes between all of the strings in this array. The way I'm going to do that is by using a divide and conquer algorithm. So I'm just going to split these to left and right parts. Then I'm going to calculate between left what is the common prefixes between the rights, and then I'm going to obviously conquer both of these things that I divided. So let's see how it's done. Now I'm going to say const answer here, and I'm going to be placing it to common prefix finder. And if I type it correctly, common prefix finder, and I'm going to give it the string that we're using. What's happening to my mouse? Okay, the string that we're going to be using, and now I need to pass the left and the right index. So obviously first is going to be 0, and then we're going to get the length times 1. And here I just need to return the answer, because this is going to be common prefix. Should I rename it better? Answer prefix probably. A little bit better. Okay. So now I need to create this function common prefix finder. So I'm going to say va common prefix finder. I'm going to be passing strings left and right. Okay, do I have it correctly? Okay. So whenever we are using recursion, we need a way to break out of the function. My current way is going to be if the left pointer is equal to the right one, I'm just going to return strings of either left or right, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to get this array, I'm going to make it smaller, and then I'm going to make it smaller again. And when right is equal to left, so when we have one element, I'm just going to return it. Okay, so now I need to figure out a way to calculate the middle point. So I'm just going to say const middle point. This is going to be equal to our left plus right divided by 2. And I need to say something here, because console log middle point. I need to trunk it probably. No, I don't want to have a recursion here, and I'm not. So I'm just going to return 0. Okay, let's go. Now I want to see middle point, because I think it's going to be with floating points, and I don't really like it. Unexpected token. Yes, of course. This is going to be equal to a function. Come on. Let's see now. So I want to, my middle point is 1. Okay, but we don't have recursion. Probably later on, if I divide 1 again, it's going to become. So you know what? I'm just gonna say mat trunk. I'm gonna trunk whatever I take here. So if I get 0.5, I'm not going to round it to 1. I'm just gonna leave it at 0, and that's what I want. So I'm just gonna place the trunk here. Now I need to figure out the left and the right part. So I'm just going to say const left part is going to be equal to our function, right? So we want to calculate the left part, meaning that I'm going to drop the right pointer down. And in order for me to do that, I'm going to pass to my function the string array, the left pointer, and as I said, I'm trimming down the right, so here I'm going to have middle point. I'm going to do the same thing with right part, but the right part is going to be a tiny little bit different. So I'm going to pass strings, and now I need to trim the left part. So I want this thing trimmed. In order for me to do that, I'm going to say middle point plus 1, and here I'm going to pass right. Okay, that is pretty good. And now I'm going to have flower and flow. So I'm just gonna write them down. Flower and flow. And what I want is to return the common prefix between these two, which is gonna be flow. And in order for me to do this, common prefix finder, common prefix calculator, and I'm gonna pass left part and right part here. Okay, let me just make it like this. So we return the common prefix calculator, and I need to, of course, create it. Okay, and now how am I going to calculate these things? Well, for first, I actually want the smaller string. So I'm gonna take smaller size, yes, is gonna be equal to matmin of left part dot length and right part dot length. So this is going to be returning flow. I'm gonna be working with flow here because I don't want to work with flower, because flower is going to have as much of a common prefix as this length. It can have more. So I'm just going to say for here, let index equals 0, index is less than smaller size. Okay, so now I need to check if at any point we have a mismatch. So flow and, for example, fight, the common prefix here is going to be f. So in order for me to break, I need to check if our left part of the current index is not equal to our right part of the current index. Then I'm just going to simply return left part dot substring of 0 to index. And if everything is alright, it means that all of these letters were found in this string. So flow was found in flower, and I'm just going to return the whole string. So I'm going to return left part dot substring of 0 to smaller size. Smaller size because I'm returning everything that was consistent to the smaller string. We're going to return the left part, yeah, and that should be it. So let's run code and see if we're going to get any problems. I'm going to open this, use example test cases. Okay, I did that a bit too quickly. And if everything goes well, I'm just going to pass it to the server and see if this is going to work out. Yeah, there it is. It's a bit slower than C#, but that's to be expected. Well, thank you for watching, guys. This was the JavaScript version. I hope you liked it, and if you have any questions, leave them down below. Goodbye.